What's up, everybody? It's your boy DTLF back with another episode of Around the League with the crew, man. This is my guy right here, man. You guys remember him, right?
It's your favorite art director slash Jimmy Butler.
The Jimmy.
Yep. And down below, we got my boy,
Your boy Mees back at it again.
the GM, man. Right? We're gonna need a GM on this episode for sure.
Oh man,
You guys know it's his empire, guys. We just all
sir.
we all civilians in that thing, man.
No, man.
My
I'm
guy.
Empire, but it is not my empire. No, we're good.
Yes, it is. He became my- Empire Jeff in the building. All right, man. We got a good one for y'all today. Don Terry said making fun of the Flippers would be better if we was it would.
Hey,
Oh,
for
my
real,
goodness.
man, for
It
real.
would be amazing. But it's our duty and we gotta do our due diligence and we're gonna make fun of them. Period. All right.
We stand strong.
We stay strong.
Oh, yeah, I was making fun of them back when they had Lob City. So,
Oh
Yeah.
man,
yeah.
Facts,
Lob
Lob
City,
City.
Lob
Oh my
City.
god. Yo, Lob City was just such a failure, man. Just like this is gonna, I believe this is gonna be a failure too. But let's talk about our own team here in our own backyard, man. You're Los Angeles Lakers, right? After a 34-point beatdown, right? They dropped a Shaq on us versus the Rockets. Man, that was tough last night. We're now 3-5 on the season. I'm starting to get PTSD, fellas, flashbacks of last season's nightmare start. I do want to ask, what's mostly wrong with our Lakers? I'm gonna start with my guy Mees. Go ahead, bro. What's wrong with our Lakers right now? What's going on?
let me take a deep breath while. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you this. It hurts my heart to say that the blowout last night didn't surprise me one bit. I saw that thing trending. I knew they would be ready, and I knew every weakness that we had would have been exploited. Unfortunately, because this is a good dude, and I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, man. But unfortunately, our man in charge don't know what he's doing, and by that I mean if you just watch the game, and I mentioned this before, this 5-out offense where everybody, whether he has twin towers or not, is standing behind the 3-point line, watching one guy jack up a terrible three. One, it's obvious that you're never going to get a chance for an offensive rebound, which is killing our rebounds, and we're toward the bottom of the league in offensive rebounds because of that. We also Phil Jackson said this in his book, and he said this over and over again. Offense dictates the defense. What he meant by that is when guys are in a rhythm, they're shooting, they're feeling good, they're in a spot, they talking mess, they're high-fiving, they're in sync, they're going to be in sync defensively. And that's what he meant by the offense dictates the defense. Now, when we in our system, when guys are watching brick after brick after brick go up, they all think it's stupid because they know we're not the Warriors, we're not a three-point shooting team. It's going to demoralize the team. And now you're seeing our defense be non-effective as well. It's carrying over to the defense. Now they're not going to go over there and be dogs defensively when they're not getting a chance to get the rock or shine over there, and they know it's stupid. That's why you saw LeBron, who knew he was mic'd up, and on camera say, "Y'all know I could play point and have this guy." LeBron ain't stupid. That is also issue I have with him because stop the passive aggressive stuff, man. Kobe would have death stared this dude into oblivion. But that was Bron's way of being passive aggressive, which I don't like, but he was making a point be known. We're being run the wrong way, man. And he knows how to get this thing going. But because of that, our offense and defense is out of sync. And now guys are checking out on the couch when they're like, we're not dumb, man. We're not being run the right way. Teams with less talent are now running circles around us. And I hate to say it, we coming into Phoenix, bro. You already know what they know the game plan, man. They coming in healthy. We gonna come in there firing a bunch of threes. So sorry to take up the time, but I had to.
No. I love it, man. We
Nah,
got
man.
fired up teams, man. No brother Darwin comments today.
You see my woo sauce behind me, man. I'm trying.
I see it. Yeah, look, great points, man. Great points. Absolutely, man. The 3-point shooting has gotten ridiculous at this point. I'm gonna go to Jeff, man, because I need to know, bro. Like this team, bro. What would you pinpoint primarily would be one of the main issues with this unit? Because I know we got a couple things, right?
Man, the main, there's so much wrong. The main issue is obviously injuries. That's a fact. I mean, it's easy to sit and kind of beat up the rotations, beat up the lineups, and beat up all these things, but then you look at the bench and there's no one there. So, I mean, we basically got what we've been asking for all season, basically was Christian Wood to start, and he went scoreless. He went 0 for 1. So it's like, it's at the end of the day, it's like every time we think we see a glimmer of something, everything we're asking for them, they finally do it. That still doesn't work. We're asking for Max Christie, puts it out there. He's not doing anything, right? So it's like nothing is working. So now, granted, he did not start Christian Wood with AD, which I think would work. And he's not got Max Christie in there with starters, which I would prefer over Cam Reddish, actually. But what I am saying is that there's too much to go wrong. So there's too much going wrong you can't look at it and say, okay, just fix this, because it doesn't solve anything. There's nothing out there other than getting guys back and just hoping that chemistry that they can build when everyone's back there and people getting normal rotations and there actually being people on a bench. We went into the season, Dan, hoping we'd have the best bench in the league. We have the worst bench in the league. And our whole bench is gone. We got Rui back last night. He got busy, but didn't matter because we can't guard anybody. We can't score. We can't shoot. We can't make our free throws. We can't offensive rebound. We can't stop turning the ball over. We can't get back on defense. I can keep going with the can'ts. I can with the can'ts, but I won't, because that's pretty much
I'm gonna start calling you Richard McCants.
Yeah, man. It's depressing, really, because like when you sit here and analyze basketball and you analyze the game and you look at everything, you could easily, a lot of these times you can see it. Okay, this is what it is. If they would just do this, and they just have a different philosophy. Okay, and we're arguing because we think our way would work, and I get that. But I look at this Laker team with everyone that's out, and there is no fix. There's no easy button. There's no push that button and then fix everything. So Darvin has his share of problems when the roster is full. When you wipe it out, it just exposes him further. So to put it on one thing, I don't think there really is one thing other than injuries. It's just too hard. There's no one to go to when the shit hits the fan.
So injuries, okay. Injuries would probably be Jeff's number one thing that obviously it has to get solved. That's a good thing for sure. Chris, what is your thing that stands out to you, man? And you want to hammer it out?
You guys really want my thing? Because I got to put these on right here.
Put them on, Chris.
No, okay. Man. Talk to him, man. Talk to him.
The professor's in the building.
You back?
Darvin Ham, D Ham. I loved you when you came in to the Laker organization. D Ham. I'm speaking straight to D Ham. I want to know what you're gonna do to improve, because you have arguably the GOAT on your team. What are you going to do to help him? What are you going to do to assist him to get to the next level, which is, for every Laker fan in the world, winning a championship? I just want to see him step up a little bit. And I know, everybody has their great arguments. And I understand injuries, and I understand that. But I just want to see him and Darvin Ham take your hands out your pockets. D Ham. I got to take these off. Take your hands out of your pockets and do something. Listen, even if it's just getting a technical at the right time, not at the wrong time, getting one at the right time where it just galvanizes the team. I just want to see the team come around you. I want to see the team come around him and say, okay, that was a good one. That was a good technical. That was great for the team, and just move forward. But I can't go anywhere else from there, because I don't know if he'll do it. I don't know if he'll fix the X's and O's between here and tomorrow. And one thing I can say is the Lakers had a great game against the Flippers. So that was a great game. And I'm sorry that it took, 3 quarters for them to flip it and hit that switch, which I don't think they have. But they don't. They don't have a switch. It's not the Kobe and Shaq Lakers where they're used to those 82 games and they got to hit that switch and they'll hit it. This team does not have it. AD, I just want him to get healthy. I'll leave it there for now. But it's exhausting. It's exhausting, man. Another thing is when you guys do the play-by-play on the PSF app, I want to
Mhm.
see a great game, dude.
Yeah,
Because
it's brutal.
I
It's
want
been
to see you
brutal.
guys energized. And for anybody that doesn't have it, go ahead and download and search.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure Search will put it up right now. But
yeah.
go download the app because it is amazing and it is getting me through the game. So I want to thank Dan and Jeff for getting us through these games because it's not easy.
Nah, man. Thank you guys for the support. And honestly, it's not easy for us either, man, having to sit there and call it snooze fest for 2.5 hours. But I'll tell you, the bottom line, my take on the Lakers, I do believe there's one glaring issue, man. And to me, it has been from the beginning of the season when we started off healthy, and it still is there now. And that's those slow first quarter starts, right?
Oh man.
And I think you got to trail that one issue all the way up to the coaching staff because they are failing to make not only in-game adjustments, now they're failing to make out-game adjustments, right? Like from game to game basis.
Yeah.
How can you keep trotting out the same roster that is starting horribly every first quarter, right? And then you have to trail it back to what is the reason we're starting off slowly in the first quarters? Is it poor defense from D'Angelo and Austin Reeves? Check. Is it the lack of size we have in the starting lineup? Check. Is it, starting an experienced, but to a certain degree, Cam Reddish in the bright lights? Triple check. So all those things can be solved. And again, it trails back to the coaching staff, which is why we're now starting to talk about Darvin Ham more. And I think this is the last thing this motherfucker wants. He does not want Laker fans to start talking about him, right? Because what as a head coach of the team, the last thing you want is Laker fans to talk about you. We want it. The coach wants the Laker fans to talk about the team, to be focused on LeBron and AD, how amazing Austin Reeves is, D'Lo ice in his veins, all that. That's what they want us. So that way they can operate in silence in the background and do what they got to do. Now that spotlight is hitting that big ass forehead Darvin Ham got right where the bullet is at, right there.
Oh my God!
It's hitting right there. It's extra shiny. That bullet is shining a little extra, and it's like, okay, what do we got to do? We got to start with Darvin Ham, fam. And I think that's the biggest issue right now is just everything we've mentioned everything you guys have mentioned is true. Each and every single one of you guys. And it all somehow leads to the coaching staff, right? Lack of drawing plays in the half court sets, coaching staff. Poor rotations, coaching staff. Lack of calling timeouts in a timely manner, coaching staff. So for me, that is the biggest issue right now to start the season. And it's got to get solved. I'm not saying they got to fire him, but somebody got to pull him to the side and be like, listen, Ham, you're gonna be cooked by Thanksgiving if you don't fucking start, paying attention to detail and executing. So that's I like the guy. He seems like a great guy. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be here for a while, so we just got to get used to it. I don't think they're gonna fire him. I don't see anybody coming over the hill and taking his place. So
right. No, yeah. I agree. But that is the issue right now.
Yeah.
And
for sure. For sure.
Get louder, right? I think when was it after we lost to the Rockets? Darvin Ham's name was trending on Twitter, and that's not a good thing. Again, it's not a good thing. So it's horrible. But hey, here we go with the second part of this question, okay? And we're gonna start again. I think we're gonna go Empire Jeff on this one. Is it time to worry about the Lakers, Jeff? Is it time, or is it still too early? How you feeling?
I don't worry about anything 8 games into the season. I'd be worried about this team if this was the record when they had everybody, but it's not. So we've seen glimpses. We've seen things, game plans and stuff that we got an early kind of like sneak peek on what their idea was coming into the season. But then, the lineup just fell apart. So I'm not in anywhere near panic. I'm not worried. Obviously, like these losses are going to hurt us later in the season. I'm going to try to ignore that. I'm not going to act like it's not bad. I'm not going to act like we can miss out on a home court advantage in the playoffs because of this start. It's very possible. But outside of that, I'd be more worried if this whole team was intact and we had this record. I'm kind of worried about our ability to stay healthy. I'll say that. But if they come back and this is our worst stretch of the season injury wise, then we got off rather easy at that point. But if we're getting to like game 15, game 20, and we're still kind of at this pace, we're still dead last in shooting threes. Our turnovers are racking up. We still can't offensive rebound. We're still getting beat down the court. Like then I'm really going to be worried. But when we see all of our horses then out there, and then we'll kind of know what we have. But it's really hard to judge this team because I don't know what we have I have no idea what we have because we didn't have the whole team in preseason. We haven't had this whole team to start this season. Like people are talking about Rui, like Rui's played 8 games. I think Rui's played like 2.5 games, and he was only getting like 14 minutes in those games early. So it felt good to see him break out yesterday. So maybe that's the start of it, and trying to figure all that out. But we absolutely need Vincent and Vando back because they are so key to our defense. And we're sitting here like 19th ranked defense in the league right now. And that's not who we are, but that's not who we can be. So like I said, I'm worried about the injuries. I'm not worried about the season yet because I still do like our roster. I still think that what they did in the summer was great. They just have yet to be able to show us what they did in the summer, how it translates into fall, winter, and spring.
Gotcha. That's a good answer. Absolutely. I agree with that. Chris, you worried about this Laker team right now or not?
Not yet, only because, I still feel it's early. I still think they could turn the corner, and they will. Injuries, man. That's one thing I wasn't expecting from a lot of these players, especially, we could go back on the tapes and guys can see that my pick was Vando as most improved, most important. He'll be out there, guarding some of the big time players for the Lakers, and he hasn't been out there. So I can't judge them yet. And the worst part is we're getting deeper and deeper into the season. I might be jumping a question here, but I think the in-season tournament, I don't even know if is that, like I said, I might be jumping the question here, but now that I see the team, I'm like, let's just do what we got to do to get the Lakers on 100% and full on the right track. So I can't judge them yet, and I don't want to, but I do want to say Darvin Ham needs to step it up, and I'll say it again over and over and over. Just step it up a bit. Let's see what you got. Let's see what your team, and when I say your team, is the coaching staff. Let's see what you guys got. Can you guys step it up a bit? Let's see something. We want to see something. The Laker fans want to see a change, want to see something. I don't care, and I'll say it again. Quick story. I'll say it again. If that means one of you needs to get a technical, just do it, but do it at the right time. I want to see some heart. I want to see some fire. Take your hands out of your pockets because I don't want to see that anymore. I'm actually done with that. I'm done with Darvin Ham, hands in pockets. I'm done with that. Do something to make the game go forward for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's it.
Man, you know what? Great point. And I'm gonna add to what you just said right now, Chris, about the coaching staff. I think the great coaches, they make their mark when players get injured. They make the most of the roster they have, and they put them in the best positions to succeed, right? Who comes to mind? I hate to use him as an example, but Tyronn Lue. During the times that the Flippers were hurt last season, and they were hurt a lot, they still found ways to win games with their role players, right? So, so, yeah, I think it's very apparent, even more so when injuries happen, where and what department we are lacking. Mies, is it time to panic for you, my brother, man? I want to know.
Oh, bro, I've been there in preseason. I saw everything I needed to see from the system. I already saw everything I saw. The wrong offense, the wrong coach for the wrong team. There's nothing he can do that's going to switch me. It's wrong. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, in the words of my man Christian, quick story. Take us back to our championship team with Andrew Bynum and Paul Gasol. We won a title. We switched that team out, swapped Bynum for Dwight, swapped Derek Fisher for Steve Nash, and instead of bringing Phil Jackson with an identical team, they hired 7 seconds or less D'Antoni. Wrong offense, wrong coach for the wrong team. When you have the wrong offense, you have Paul Gasol complaining because he's being used as a stretch 4. It's like, that's not my game. What are you doing? Now you got us jacking up a bunch of threes, killing the offense, killing that whole team. Now Kobe Bryant, the star, has to go above and beyond to drag this stacked team, play all these fourth quarters, and drag us to barely get into the playoffs. And we all know what happened to him. The exact same thing is happening right now to LeBron James. 8 games in the season. You saw they cut that minutes restriction from game 1. You're going to drag LeBron to exhaustion to get this stacked team that's better than any team in the league to barely get us into the play-in because you have the wrong coach, the wrong offensive system on the wrong team. And I'm going to stand on this. I'm going to put my chest out. If this dude is not gone after this Phoenix loss, if he's not gone immediately and he's still here holding on to till All-Star break, bruh, it's going to be a wrap. And I'm going to tell you another reason why. This past Sacramento game, I made a point on the channel. We knew, all of us knew, everybody in the chat knew, you go to Sacramento, you attack them in the paint. That's the advantage we have over them. That's what you do. This dude came out throwing up threes and tried to outshoot them from three. Every game we lose, his adjustment is guys need to knock down more shots. Guys need to knock down more threes. We're dead last in threes. That's not our strength. We're never going to knock down more threes. The only games we can compete in are if somebody is hot from three, which is why we beat the Clippers. If we're not and we're shooting our average, we're going to get killed. That's a stupid strategy. We're not the Warriors, and we're not going to outshoot nobody from three. And he's going to keep this exact same system in the playoffs, trying to outshoot somebody from three, and we're going to get killed. So if you don't cut dude now, it's night-night, man.
Oh, Mees.
Oh, let me get
I want to take,
Man,
but I want to break it to you, bro. I'm about to drop
Okay.
some
Fire.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Woo.
Coach is not going to get fired this season.
No, he's not.
And for everybody in the
He's
chat, I promise you he won't get fired this season. I promise you. Why? Because you got to look at the front office's patterns. They hate firing coaches. They hated firing Frank Vogel. That was a necessary evil that had to happen, but they hated it. And if you look at it, it took years of mediocrity. So I do agree with Mees, though. And again, it goes back to the head coach with the first question. Everything Mees you said, spot on, bro. The coach is the reason for concern, right? It might not be the team. We have the roster. We have the tools to compete for a championship. But that coach is definitely a reason for concern. And my eyebrows raised after this last. Like, you don't go into Houston and get your ass beat by 34 and then not have your eyebrows raised. Like, even the front office had to raise their eyebrows a little bit at that, right? Here's the problem, and I talked about this on my live stream yesterday, is that I love Jeannie. She's great heart, awesome person. I'll never slander her. She already delivered a title here. But sometimes she could be too nice, right? And you know what they say about don't mix business with pleasure, right? You can't always treat your employees like family, because when it's time to bring down the hammer, it's going to be really hard. And that's what I always see with Jeannie and with Rob. And, they treat it like a family-friendly environment. And then what ends up happening is these coaches outstay their expiration date, past what we think should be, right? And that's what happened last time with Frank Vogel as well. I thought he should have been fired after the year they barely made the playoffs and got eliminated first round, right? Because that's how high the standard should always be. It should always be championship or bust, no matter what anybody thinks, right? So I do feel like since we lost the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss, we lost a little bit of that edge. That was a cutthroat franchise. Like, you felt like Dr. Buss would cut Phil Jackson if he had to. You've just
facts.
And I'm not saying that's the right move, but I'm saying, like, if there was a conflict of interest, bringing down the hammer instantly. They're not going to wait 2 seasons of bad basketball, 3 seasons, Yeah. And that's what we're lacking right now, is that we don't have those cutthroat front office execs. Now, they looked very cutthroat when they did it to Frank Vogel, but mind you, this was inevitable because it was 2 seasons of that type of mediocrity already, right? It was like, and we literally waited till the last game of the regular season when he should have been fired halfway through that motherfucker. When we started off, you know what I'm saying? When we started off 2-10, you don't start off 2-10 and survive the Lakers, not with Dr. Jerry Buss, at least. I'll tell you that, So it's one of those things where I just wish that the front office was a little more cutthroat. Love their heart. They got pure intentions, class organization. But man, it would have started like this. At least the eyebrows got to be raised. But I hate to break it to y'all, man. Just seeing the tendencies. Yeah. I don't see the coaching staff anybody being fired this season. Maybe if we miss the playoffs or something atrocious happens with the stacked roster, in the summer it'll happen, right? Or at the end of the regular season.
Don't even say that.
This is going to be your coach. This is going to be your guy. And all we can hope is that he learns, right? That's it. That's all we can hope for.
Man. But Dan, if there was any season that you're going to bring Phil Handy in, I thought it would have been that season where, Frank Vogel should have been, let go early just because of the whole Westbrook thing. But then you got to remember, it's like a Westbrook thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could go back in time and fix things and see, go back and just see like what happens if we let this guy. But then you got to think, Phil Handy, X's and O's, who knows?
Hey, you know what, Dan? To echo what you said,
Right,
man.
right.
Phil Handy wouldn't work.
Dr. Bus would boot you out simply because the product on the floor on a nightly basis is trash. Like watching these games, bro, I swear it's about 4 more grays that popped up on my head on a nightly basis. Is my son's the saddest part that hit me is why I had to do the video the other day. My son, I didn't even think about it till he told me. He's 17. He has to live Laker basketball through our family to watch YouTube videos about the Showtime era. Me, the family talk about the Kobe Shaq era. He has no recollection of a good Laker basketball era. He's hollering at the T. He's worse than me. He's slamming the doors like, I'm not watching this. And I have to calm him down like, bro, this is getting real, man. Like the product on the floor on a nightly basis is trash, man. Like we're paying for this product. This is nah, man.
When we lost Dr. Jerry Buss, even though we won the championship in 2020, what we lost really was stability. This franchise hasn't had it, since then. Like every year, we don't know what to expect. Every game, we don't know what to expect. We don't know who's going to show up. The Miami Heat, they have culture, they have stability. They're going to play hard. That's their identity. The Boston Celtics, they're going to play hard. That's their identity, right? They're a defensive-minded, offensive-minded team. They're going to play hard. That's their identity. What the Lakers been lacking since we lost the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss, God rest his soul, is identity. We haven't had it. Every year, we think we're going to get something, and we get something completely different, right? And then we turn up sometimes, and we make a nice little run. But then again, what happened to our identity during the Western Conference Finals? What type of team were we then, right? We completely forgot who we were, went away from our strengths. Guys shrunk at the worst moment. But just what you just said right now, Mies, struck a chord with me because, like you say, your son hasn't really seen consistent winning Lakers basketball, which is what I grew up with in the Kobe Shaq era. It's what my parents and their parents and people before that grew up watching with the Kareem Magic Johnson era, and we don't have that right now, honestly, right? Every year we're wondering, is this going to be the year LeBron declines? You know what I'm saying? Is this going to be the year that Anthony Davis can stay healthy? Too many question marks around this franchise at all times. So I pray, right? And I want to know what your thoughts are on this, Jeff. I want you to chime in on this. But I pray that when LeBron James does retire and his time is up, the Lakers find stability again, right? And it'll take time. But that's all I want. I want to know what I have going into the season, during the season, and after the season.
My turn. Is that what you're saying?
No, I want to
know. Sorry. It's
lack of stability we have right now.
Yeah, I thought I was like, I don't know if you I didn't hear him say my name to go. So, all right. So, so you're right about the Dr. Buss thing. And there's a reason why he's the greatest team owner in pro sports history. We'll never have another one, unfortunately. And, even though his kids are running the team, they're not him. And while Jeannie is great at what she does, she was kind of thrusted into the basketball side of things because his son didn't know how to do it or didn't care to do it, right? This was never supposed to be her role. She was supposed to be running the business, running the product, the business side, the money side, and all that. She wasn't meant to oversee basketball decisions. That wasn't supposed to be her role. Matter of fact, her dad was pretty much forbidding it for it to happen. Wanted it to be Jim Buss, but Jim just couldn't do it. Just did everything to spite her, and basically hired D'Antoni just to spite her and not bring Phil Jackson in. And it was just a whole mess there. And it's almost been, we've talked about this numerous times. It's almost been trying to figure it out from there. She cleans house because he got little too shysty there. Cleans house, goes in, brings in Magic. Magic does his job by getting Braun, but then kind of botched everything else. So he had to get out of there because he was just like, that's not what he was for. He was just to be another face and a little sample of stability to get someone like LeBron James, and then he can move on to let Braun and them do the rest. Braun got AD. Braun and Pelinka and them got AD, right? Magic tried, but teams didn't want to work with him. So so then you move on and you go through all that. So the identity portion of it is tough. When Braun leaves, as far as an identity, I think the Lakers are going to be able to get another star because the way they take care of stars, the way they took care of Kobe, giving him that last 2-year deal when everyone was bashing it. And the reason why they probably couldn't sign anyone else is because all that money was tied to him. He was unhealthy. and you know, and all that. Now they did that same thing for Bron. So again, these next stars see that. My thing of stability and what I want to see is that I hope that it's just not going to be then the star when he's 34. Like, I hope it's not Giannis when he's done with Milwaukee's contract, right? I hope it's not one of these guys that you sign at 33, 34. I want stability at getting a guy at 27. Like when he's after he's done that first 7 years with his team. Like man, imagine you know, when we get Wemby at 25 or something like that. That's stability. You get the face of the league at the entry point of their prime. That's stability. And that's when you know the Lakers are fully back. Now we might have, and we could have potentially gotten LeBron back in 2014, if not for that Kobe contract. But we had to give that contract to Kobe. And that contract that we gave Kobe is why we got LeBron. So, like I said, Dan, I think we will have stability. I absolutely think we will. At the end of the day, we're still the magnet of New York City is the Mecca. The Garden is the Mecca of basketball. Yep. But the Lakers are the Mecca of winning. Okay, point blank, period. So I'm sure Celtics fans have something to say about that, but we don't care. But like I said, but
listen, Boston, they went in the black and white era. Dinosaurs were still walking the earth when that shit happened.
Like I said, it's the Lakers will have stability. People act like there was a span when it happened, just because, and people act like that was eternity. Like the Lakers just couldn't get people. There was a few years we couldn't get it because we had botched some things. They went in all in Kobe. Kobe got hurt. They didn't treat Powell correctly, and they let him walk for nothing. There was a lot of things that went wrong with that, right? They traded for Dwight and didn't re-sign him. Or, you know, he left. So they should have traded him when they knew it wasn't going to work and got something for him. Yeah. They should have traded Powell and got something for him. The CP3 situation and went down with that. So there was a series of events that led to the Lakers not being able to get anyone, that led to instability. That's all behind us now. Okay. The reason I know that, because in the time, in the era where everybody was unstable, the Lakers won the championship. So like I said, in an era of instability, they were the stable ones. So that will shine again too. So the Lakers will get people. Dan, I know this is a lot longer answer than I intended it to be, but they will definitely have stability. And they're not done with this with Bron. They're not done. So not only will they have stability, but the Bron chapter still has more to be told.
Tell them a quick story.
Hey, can I want to chime in real quick? Piggyback off of what Jeff was saying. All facts. But also wanted to add another layer to it. I won't say who I knew in the circles, but I have worked for one of the particular guys being mentioned. Well, it ain't no secret. I worked for Mark Jackson at his church a while back. So he used to drop some information. So I'll drop this. He won't mind nobody knowing. Magic. His big move was getting Lonzo Ball. Y'all remember how Lonzo Ball was, and I'm actually going to do a whole back video on this probably next week. Lonzo Ball was supposed to be his protege, the Showtime era. When the season started, you saw he won the Summer League MVP, had us in the building. The passes to Kuzma was like, oh, this the next era. It's game over. Game 2 of the season, Lonzo drops 29, 11, and 8 and 9.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Showstopper. After that, Luke Walton started flexing his muscles and approaching his 3-and-D offense, not 3-and-D offense, his Golden State Warrior offense, which is what all the coaches are doing now, relegating Lonzo to be a 3-and-D guard. That ain't Lonzo Ball's game. That's what started the headbutting with Magic. Like, hold on, no. I brought in my protege. I want my coach in to usher the next Showtime era. The only person he had in mind was the guy that was going to be a mentor to Lonzo, that could be a father figure, and that is a Hall of Fame capable person at that position, which is Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson was who Magic wanted to bring to usher in the next era of Showtime ball with Lonzo and LeBron. Unfortunately, Luke being the child of Jeannie, I love Luke. He's Phil's protege. I'm not letting Luke go. And from her perspective, rightfully so. But that's where Magic's like, well, you're not going to sit there and have my dude be used as a 3-and-D guard shooting up three. That's not his skill set. And the entire league trashing Lonzo because his 3-point percentage, and that's not his game, which is what they did with Russell Westbrook, having him be in a spot. This story is playing out over and over again. And Magic said, well, if I can't bring in my guy to run my Showtime system,
but you know what?
That's where he hit you with the head shake.
And
said deuces.
I'll tell you that's part of the instability, though, is that they can never get on the same page, right? And they made the wrong pick there because Jason Tatum ended up being miles and miles better, right? So they made
several
the wrong
players in
Yeah.
that draft.
Yeah. Oh, De'Aaron Fox, you're right. You're right about that. So we definitely made the wrong pick there, right? But it's just that's the problem, is that they could never get on the wrong page. It's always about me, what I want. And there's too many cooks in the kitchen. You know, what they need to do is hire somebody at their job right now. It's Rob Pelinka. They're letting them do work. So credit to them for doing that. But hopefully, I don't want to hear later on that Kurt Rambis' cousin and his wife's cousin, his cousin's cousin got involved, because then I'm going to be pissed again. You know, we need that stability. You remember, Dr. Buss, again, one of his best things is he would trust Hall of Famers to do their job. And he would tell them, I give you the money to do your job, and I'm out of the way. I will give my input when necessary, but you do your job, right? It's what he did with Jerry West, right? It's what he did with certain people. So that's what we need, right? And at the end of the day, hopefully we get that in the near future. I think we can. Like Jeff said, we are the marquee franchise, but we have to reestablish ourselves for years to come, because these last 10 years have been very murky. Very.
Yeah, there's been more bad than good in those 10 years. But I would also say that I think we're already trending in that way. If you think about it, all last year, you know, LeBron applying pressure, Clutch applying pressure, the Lakers, Genie, and I think they have reestablished identity. I think they've taken their franchise back. So it was when they did that, you know, at the trade deadline last year. All last season, people have been move this, F them picks, horrible advice. Move them. They waited till the right deal. They got to the Western Conference Final. This summer, Clutch and them left him alone. He did his job. So when you're coming through all this, you know, so it's like Genie. So like another quick story to top of me said, like Magic had the Mark Jackson idea before he even took the job. Genie shut it down then. Like the Lakers will never hire Mark Jackson. I guarantee you that. It will never happen. I promise you that. So outside of that, like Magic knew that going in. So Magic know when he gets on talk shows, though, he's gonna float his stuff out there. He's gonna put it out there. He can go there. But he knew that going in. Now, so again, he wanted Luke Walton out of there, and rightfully so. Luke Walton was not a good coach. It was not a good coach. Yeah, so you're right. So that was the instability, and to be honest, it's kind of why Genie kind of went down that path of bringing in. If you've noticed, when Magic left the building, so did all the leaks. What I will say about what Genie has done when it comes to the stability is she surrounded herself with people who don't leak shit. So we can say what we want to say about Rambis, his wife, and all these stuff. They're there. Their advisors are doing these things, right? Because there's people who've been part of the Lakers for 30 years. They've been part of every era, winning at every level. So you'd be kind of foolish to not have people around that you trust, but they're not decision makers. You get what I'm saying? They're not decision makers. Rob made the decisions this summer, and you know what I mean? It was Rob's call. She's let him do that. So Genie, I think by Magic leaving, they actually got a little bit more stability, because the Lakers move in silence. Like nothing comes out of there. Nothing comes out of there. They have one media guy who they use to toy with everyone else, and he just puts out what they want out there, which is mostly misdirection, and he never gets anything right because he's not trying to. He's out there to use misdirection and do what they want for the Lakers. So it's like, I think so, to Dan's credit, the last 10 years, it's been rough. It has been rough. We got a chip, and then we immediately hurt after that, right? Then it's Westbrook. Then we get, then it was Kobe getting hurt and all that. And this all started. It's all started with the Chris Paul trade, and it's been going downhill from there. LeBron came, he got AD. We had a little bit of a spike, then injuries, and we kind of went through it again. That's what's so frustrating, is this was supposed to be the season where we were healthy. We started out good. We were younger. We had depth. We had shooters, right? We had, hopefully Darvin Ham learned something, and everything just said as soon as the season started. So we're back to some quote unquote level of instability, but this is where the players like Bron, AD, and all them, they need to hold it down and stay together, not starting on each other, because pointing the fingers at a bunch of people right now that are on the bench dressed like they're going to the club instead of a game. There's more people on the bench that look like fans, you know what I mean, than there are players, you know what I mean, in street clothes.
Right. Shit, bro. It sucks, but you know what, guys? Man. We exercised some demons here, because we did a record-breaking 40 minutes of Lakers basketball talk. That's a record on Around the League, fan. That's a record for sure. But now we can, flip the script a little bit and maybe make fun of a team. Might make it
real quick. Giannis went for 54 tonight in a loss.
No, he didn't.
In a loss. Never lost. He lost. 19
really
for
quick,
25.
Giannis busted my balls because I picked him to go under on every card, thinking what's his face was going to play, Damian Lillard. So
Yeah, Dame was out. Yeah.
Giannis out here busting my chops, man. All right, let's flip the script, man. Clippers out here clipping, ladies and gentlemen. You know, they are now 0-3 since acquiring the flop merchant. Now, you know what I'm saying? This was a quote by Nick Wright on FS1. He says, and I quote, "I do not think the Clippers will be in the playoffs. They are not good." All right.
Yeah.
This would be a dream for me if they missed the playoffs, man. How y'all feeling about the Clippers so far? Let's start with my guy Chris.
Man, we how long have we been on the show right now?
40 minutes.
40
Exactly
minutes?
40 minutes.
Man, fuck the Clippers, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Give a fuck about the Clippers, man. I don't give a fuck. Man, you guys have seen my artwork. If I could put them in the toilet and flush them, and Dan has definitely put them in the toilet and flushed them plenty of times. Yeah, I don't give a F about them. I didn't give a F about them when they were over here trying to do Lob City. I made you guys like this. You guys don't know this, but back when they were doing Lob City and talking about Chip City, this and all that. Yeah, I was making my artwork and doing it all pro Laker stuff. So I was putting Lob City in the fucking on the tombstone. So yeah, yeah, man, and I'll be proud to go back and look for that artwork and put it back up. But I don't give a F about that, man. And James Harden could kiss. No, man, I'm done with that, man. Especially they could go on and win 10 games in a row. I don't give a F about that, man, because I don't believe in them, and I won't believe in them when they move to their new arena that they kicked out, family and friends from, because I grew up in Inglewood. I know that area. I had personal friends and family that had to get moved out of that area, So I don't respect them. I don't respect Steve Ballmer, and he can watch this if he wants to and do what he has to do because he's got more power than me.
Got sniper money, Chris. Be careful. You got sniper money, man.
He does.
He got
sniper money.
Listen,
Middle of the lodge.
You're gonna get Chris gonna be talking.
Yeah.
He's alone, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, shit. The next around the league, you guys gonna be like, oh, we got some sad news. We got some sad news.
They're gonna hit you with the side with the good hair, so we don't see the bullet go in, man. You gotta be
But well, you know what? I'm not scared to say fuck the Clippers, fuck their fan base, and you know what, man, they did.
All 7 of them.
No, man, they did. Man, it was a dirty move the way they did the people in Inglewood, because a lot of them got kicked out, and a lot of them didn't get the money that they deserve. Okay. Yeah. The chat could go crazy on me and whatever. I don't care because I was there firsthand. Dude, I was there firsthand. A lot of people got evicted and when they shouldn't have been. A lot of people didn't agree to the terms that they were supposed to agree to because, there's this big corporation telling you, hey, take this money and you got to get out. No, you don't have to take the money. You don't always have to just move out because these people are telling you to. They had to do it because there's a corporation. It's a whole other thing. We could go into a whole other, thing about this, but I want to just say from the bottom of my heart, fuck Kawhi Leonard, Paul.
As a record label, as a staff.
He's going full hit him up here. He's like F the Clippers as a record staff, record label, and as he's but I mean to be fair, the Rams booted more people out of Inglewood than but to be fair, but real quick, shout out to my dude Rel for those We Talk Mavs, for as far as people cover other teams, they're one of the best I've seen do it. They're incredible. So, I know you guys for the Mavs, you would just talk basketball. Before we play the Mavs, go in there, you want to break down, you want to hear about that team. Check out my guys, Rel and King over there at We Talk Mavs. Incredible show over there. Salute to you, bro, man. Thanks for pulling up. We appreciate you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll say this, Chris, it is always fuck the Clippers here on this channel. For sure. That's like that's like a Bible verse. It's written, it's written. I'll say this. He completely made me forget about the question.
No. So Basically, just
the question
the
was,
thoughts on the Clippers. The thoughts on the
yeah,
Clippers.
thoughts on the
my,
Go ahead, Jeff.
He hit us with a quick story. A quick story.
Yeah, a quick story. My bad, man. I might never ever be invited here again.
No,
but,
stop it. No, I was just so like into the way you describe, fuck the Clippers. So, go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, bro. Take it away. What's your thoughts on?
So
the
I'm gonna be a little bit more tactical, but from the Clippers perspective, like I keep coming back to the stance. I don't know why they even did the trade to begin with. Like I don't understand. It's not from a hating perspective. It's not from anything. So when they went into the season, I was actually looking at the Clippers the way they started the season. I was like, okay, tops in threes, tops in defense, tops in offense. Like everyone was playing great. Russ came out playing great. Their defense was incredible. They were killing everything. And then they had their net rating as a starting lineup with Rocco at the 4. Their lineup was incredible. I keep going back to I don't know why they made the trade. They didn't have to. So I don't know. Part of me is thinking maybe okay, you got Kawhi and Paul George who have not extended. You're playing maybe you can apply pressure to them. Okay, now you got to play every game because if you don't, I'll let you walk and I'll sign this guy right instead of you. So I don't know what type of game they're playing over there, but they're going to be losing games now because of this. So they were 3 and 2-1 coming into that Laker game. They lost that one in Utah at the buzzer where Russ, who got an incredible rebound, shout out to him for that, and then really couldn't do much because the time was running out, threw it up and got clowned for missing it. But really nothing you can do with that shot, right? And then they went and they go into that Laker game feeling really good about themselves. They looked really good and they looked like amazing. They looked like from another planet in that first 2 quarters, right? And then they fell back down to earth, and it seems like they've been falling down to earth ever since. And why was that? Because in that game, the Laker game, they were missing the guys that also helped them get off to that great start. Then they go in and they play the New York Knicks with Harden, but again, not those other guys that helped them got them there. And PJ Tucker, this is not PJ Tucker from 5 years ago. PJ Tucker is Bronze Age. You get what I'm saying? He's Bronze Age without giving you the offense. So you're asking this guy to get out there, shout out to his shoe collection and all that, but that don't touch the stat sheet. You know what I mean? So neither do the freckles. So what I'm saying is when you're going out there with all this, when you think about it, now the amount that they have fallen in 3 games, statistically from the top defensive team, top offensive rating team, top 3-point shooting team, low turnovers, efficiency off the board, everything just did a 180.
Oh,
The
wow.
3 worst. Not only did that James Harden trade destroy the Clippers so far for these 3 games, it destroyed the Lakers too. LA is 0-6 combined since the James Harden trade.
Wow.
It's insane, bro.
Oh, man.
It's insane.
Hard, huh?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is it's just really it didn't make any sense, and I'm not hating. I'm really not. I was looking at that. It was you got rid of all your wings, all your shooting for a guy that is who disappears in the playoffs, and you figured out a way to kind of get Russ to play well, in a winning way, and you're gonna undo all of that for what? I don't get the logic. And the only thing I can think of is he's trying to apply pressure to be like if you guys don't get your act together, if you don't play all these games, if you don't give me my money's worth, if you're not here when it counts, I'm going to pay this dude and support all these local ladies in our community through him for you. And you guys can go and take your 1.5 knees combined somewhere else. And I think that's the only thing that makes sense. And it still doesn't make sense because they're going to lose games. I was not even going to lie, man. I was legit impressed with them. I was actually giving them their props to start the season. And they just went ahead and is totally committed basketball suicide. All right, I'm good.
I love it. Hey, 2 straight rants back to back. Can me
Man.
top? Can me top?
I can't top that, bro. Matter of fact, a quick question, Jeff. What's the how many years is Harden?
No,
Harden
free
have
agent.
left?
Free agent. He's a
Oh,
free
wow.
agent. He's a free agent this summer. You can't even extend him. So you traded for him knowing you can't extend him now. So no, the Philly couldn't extend him. The Clippers can't extend him. He's going to free agency without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh,
Kawhi
wow.
and PG have player options that they can opt out of. They're gonna opt out of it because they want to. These are perennially injured players, so they're gonna want a longer term deal, to protect themselves from another injury. So you're gonna have all 3 of them free agents. So if they have a horrible season with all 3 of those free agents, Toronto's gonna have some money this year. Philly's gonna have some money this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's teams are gonna have money this year. If Bron retires, I don't think he will. If Bron retires, the Lakers are going to have money this year. You know what I mean? There's going to be some money out there, and it's not a deep free agent market. These guys opting out, this may be their last chance to get paid because they're not going to want to go in the next year where it's more, and then 26 even crazier. So he's a free agent, bro.
That's a tough one because my only defense for that would be okay. I want to get a star that I can extend long term, maybe because, like you say, with these dudes running on one knee combined, I have to have somebody to sell these tickets for this building. But if you can't even extend it, that kills that situation. So I don't know. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I've gotten on this dude for seasons because he was on this squad, but I'm gonna have to flip a little bit and show a little bit of heart for this
Uh-oh.
cat. Bro,
Uh-oh.
Russell
Tin Man.
Westbrook.
Tin Man. Here comes Tin Man.
Bro,
Okay, here we go.
Russell
Here we go.
Westbrook, man. I can't lie, I feel a little bad for Russ, man.
Oh,
Back to back to back to
I
back.
do
He's
too.
getting it, man. Now
I do
with
too.
James Harden coming there, Russ was actually playing some decent ball. Looked like he's like, I found a home I can ball in, and boom, here comes James Harden.
Yep.
Now that they taking L's, the only adjustment Ty Lue is going to make on day one, Russ, I'm sorry,
Yep.
but you got to go to the bench, or I don't know if they can trade him or something. Russ, as we know it, could be done with James Harden. So I got to give Russ half a flex, man. I'm sorry, man. You are an MVP in this league. It's just back to back. You taking L's, man. I'm sorry, bro, but Russ, as we know it, that's a done deal, man. And the Clippers are a wrap, man. But I will say this: with Russ going to the bench, they will be able to tread water and get into the play-in, so they can make a little bit of noise, man. But I don't know, man.
You know what?
James, he's the system, bro. He's the system.
He's the system, all right. He the
I love the
system, all
take.
right.
I love the take, fellas, but
He's sending us L's, man.
I gotta bring down the hammer of Thor on this one, man. Listen. The Clippers never ever play a different movie. It's always the same movie on rerun. Okay, so let me just okay. There's hype to start the season, right? Here come the ESPN analyst.
Yeah.
Oh, these are the favorites. Oh, they're the best team in California. All of the hype, right? Then they get off to a good start. All right, now people are really like backing that hype up. Then they make a trade where they think they won. Always, every
They
season,
do.
right? They add some player that they think is going to put them over the top. Last year, who was it? It was Norman Powell, I believe, right? Last year. Or was it the year before that?
That was a couple seasons ago. Last year is when they trade for Plumlee. They
There you go.
traded,
Oh,
they
right.
signed
Plumlee,
Russ, and there was another. Who's the other guy they got? There was another guy they got.
Yeah. Well, according to the experts, that was going to be the trade that put him over the top. Plumlee is a hustler. He's a hard worker.
Bones Highland. Sorry.
Bones Highland. Oh my God, they got him for free. Oh my God, the Clippers are going to win the championship. Everybody who doesn't have a brain, right?
Yeah.
And then reality hits. It's the fucking Clippers. They're going to lose in the first or second round max. Best case scenario for me, because I am a Clipper fucking hater. I hate all 7 of their cardboard cutouts. Best case scenario for me is that they missed the playoffs. I hope Nick Wright is actually right this time. Miss the fucking playoffs, and the Lakers win the championship. That's the best case scenario. Because you know what that would do? You know what that would do? That would finally shut all 7 of them up forever. Because remember, they have been claiming that it's their championship season for the last 10 years that I can remember, since Lob City. And now these motherfuckers, these cocksucking players, man, they coming out here and joining forces. You got the bearded weird one out here just all of a sudden he's supposed to be the cherry on top. Listen, Philly got better when he left. They are now 6-1. 6-1. They are 6-1 since James Harden left. Who else got better when they left? Brooklyn got better when they left. Right? The only team that didn't get better when he left was the Houston Rockets, because they were already in a shithole and Mike D'Antoni wasn't there. They didn't have a system in place, right? So I'm so happy. I was happy when the trade happened, when they landed James Harden. I was ecstatic. I was like, yes, he belongs in basketball hell because he's been putting other franchises to basketball hell and all of that stuff. So this is like poetic justice. I actually think Nick Wright has a point. They keep this up, they might actually miss the playoffs. The West is stacked this year. And
you're right though.
I want to see it. I want to
all 7 of they fans.
all 7 of those motherfuckers, man. Listen, it's like
and Clipper Darrell counts as 2 of them.
Oh my God!
He's half a fan. The rest are cardboard cutouts. It's tough. But look, I'll tell you this, man. I hope that once and for all, once they lose this season, I pray to God that team just disbands and they go back to what they truly are, which is a pretending, mediocre franchise. And by the way, they thought they were going to acquire Harden and win a championship, and they were going to throw the parade and then just walk into the new arena and hang their lonely banner up there. That was the plan. I can't wait to see them get eliminated this year.
But Dad, you know what they would have done? They would have had one big ass banner to try to cover up all our joints, man.
Oh man,
You know,
yeah,
Steve,
You know?
Steve
Yep.
he would have tried to do it, man.
Yeah,
That would have been crazy,
absolutely.
bro.
So I'm happy. I'm ecstatic right now because this is my only happiness. The fact that the Lakers suck right now is my misery. But there's a flip side to that coin. The Clippers
Yeah.
are starting to suck as well, and they're coming back down to reality. So very, very excited for James Harden at the Clippers. Congratulations, you played yourself, Clippers. That's what I'll say about that. And I look forward to seeing how the movie ends, which we already know how it ends.
Yeah, he had a great first interview when he said, "I'm the system." There you go.
Walking
got
in the
the-
building. That's crazy, bro.
You got the
Yeah,
claw,
he
you got the
is.
system, and you got Westbrook.
Yo,
Three-
you saw when he walked into the locker room, right? You saw.
Yeah,
you saw-
they
Oh
energy,
my
man.
when he
God.
walked
That
into the
was
locker room,
amazing.
when he walked into the
Yes.
locker room,
Tell him,
everyone tell him he walked into the locker room and everyone had the look on their face like he just smashed all their chicks. That's the
Yep.
look that he got from
Real.
everyone when he walked into the
Real.
locker room, bro.
Whoa.
You walked into the locker room, you didn't hear a
Nope.
no. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. You heard did you see Terrence Mann? Terrence Mann
man.
gave you the emoji of no, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Ooh,
Whatever that
facts.
emoji is, make it Terrence Mann's face when Harden
When
walked
he
into the
walked
locker room.
locker room. Yep.
Man, that Jeff, drop that one time for you.
Yeah,
boy,
hell
man.
yeah.
Come on,
Hit
man.
that.
That was
Hold on.
all facts, bro.
I had to get
That
away
was
from the
fact.
quiet.
Because he got some side eyes out this world
Oh,
when he walked in
yeah.
that locker
Oh,
room,
yeah.
man.
Oh,
They
yeah.
was not
crazy.
rolling.
Hey, hit that 5 times for each starter.
But I'll tell you, man, it's going to be a fun season just to watch these teams that thought they were powerhouses and were actually going to win a championship just fall flat on their face. Now, I do want to talk about an actual team that's impressing me, guys, and that is the Philadelphia 76ers, man. They are undefeated since trading James Harden, currently 6-1 on the season, and they are playing as a unit. Now, Embiid had some interesting words to say today. He said, and I quote, "Nobody has an ego on this team," end quote. How far can the Sixers go this season? Are they legit? Are they actually legit? Addition by subtraction. And let's start with Jeff because he breathed really heavy on this one. I
Oh,
need to know
man,
what he's thinking.
You know what? You know why? Because like for 3 years in a row, I've been saying I was starting to believe in them each year. I'm like, this is my last year. This is my last year. This is my last year. And I officially gave up on them last summer. Officially gave up on them. Now here they come, man. Like now here they come and they want to play ball. They get rid of Doc Rivers, right?
Great move.
They getting rid of Doc Rivers, getting rid of James Harden. Maxey has been better than James
Love
Harden,
him.
right? He's
Love
way better than him this season.
Mhm.
Nick Nurse is better than Doc Rivers, right?
Way better.
These guys are better to play with Joel Embiid. Like they're deeper now by splitting up the Harden and getting all these extra pieces, and they got other pieces to make another move for some of them before the deadline. So I love what I'm seeing from them. Like absolutely love what I'm seeing from them. And I don't want to go back to again to saying this is the last year I believe in them. But I feel like they just keep coming. They just keep coming. They can't finish the job, right? But they keep coming. They keep playing, keep having good regular seasons. They keep doing what's up, NGB?
Yeah.
They keep doing their thing and then they get to that end and they can't complete it. But we'll see now without Harden there, Mr. No fourth quarter, right? And Mr. No game 7, right? So we'll see what happens. But I love what I'm seeing from them now. Boston got off to such a crazy start because they had a super easy schedule at the gate, and then Philly's just been steady along and they beat them. You know what I mean? So it's like we're sitting like Milwaukee lost again today, so they're 5-3, right? They're struggling. Boston's come back to earth a little bit now. And now you got Philly sitting there. Tobias Harris is forever underrated and underappreciated. That dude can ball. And man, I think they're gonna have a strong year, man. But I could see them like with injuries and some teams having like very top heavy. I could see them being a higher seed in the East. And a couple months ago, I didn't see that.
That's a fun freaking team. And Kelly Oubre just fits like a glove on that team, man. I didn't think he would make such an impact. I've been watching him on League Pass, and wow. Like you said, Tyrese Maxey taking that next step. Tyrese Maxey is who we thought RJ Barrett would be when he got drafted. You know what I'm saying? Like we thought he was going to be that combo guard that could put the ball on the floor, attack, be efficient, and just be phenomenal, right? Chris, is Philly the real deal, or are they just another Philly cheesesteak sandwich?
No, I think they're the real deal. I just say, I'll say a hashtag quick story. I like what I see. The big dogs are doing what they got to do, and there's no hesitation there. There's no looking back at the bench talking about, I'm going to get, subbed out. Man, I I thought they should have won against the Bucks the first game. So who knows? If they win that game, I think the NBA is talking about them differently. I just like them, dude. I like them. Addition by subtraction. There's nothing more I could say about it. When you're gonna remove a issue from your team and move forward, and I think they all knew that once this dude is gonna get shipped out, and you're gonna bring new yep. You'll bring in some new pieces, and everybody's falling in place. I think it's all good. And I don't even like them, dude. I'm just gonna be honest. I've never liked, and I've never been a supporter of any Philly teams. And the chat could get on me about this, but it could be football. It could be football. Yeah, it could be football, baseball, and especially Bryce Harper. I'm not, okay, he's great, but whatever, man. Still, yeah. I'm a Dodger fan until I die. So yeah. So y'all could come at me, but Philadelphia area,
Philly Dilly, huh?
Yeah.
He called them crumb bums. He just called Philly crumb bums. The Philly verb over there.
The city of brotherly hate.
Hey, listen, y'all could come at me if y'all want, but I'm never gonna love you guys. But I do love Kobe, and I know he's from the area. And right. I'll tell you a quick story. Look at that.
This is fading that quick story like crazy.
No, but yeah. I'll just say, yeah, man. Y'all do what y'all got to do.
No, tell me. I want to hear the quick story. You can't say quick story and not drop a quick story.
Right, you can't do that, man.
No, I was just gonna say, I love Kobe to death, and I know he's from the area, but it doesn't mean that I'm ever gonna root for them. And I love AI, but it doesn't mean I'm ever gonna be like, hey, 76ers win this championship. So that's it.
No, I agree with you, man. We're definitely not rooting for any Philly teams. It's just the question was, what do you think, if they're legit or they're not, or is it too early in the season to tell? So,
I'll say okay. Quick story. It's too early to tell.
Too early to tell. Okay. All right. There you go. We got the answer we wanted from Chris. My guy gave us the whole, the whole lecture of why he'll never root for any team that's not in LA. Which he knew already.
That was the thesis brought to you by Professor Cristo. So
yes, indeed.
Talk
to him.
Hey, listen, there's nobody like Chris, man. He is in a league of his own. Mees, talk to me,
sir.
man. Is Philly the real deal, or are they just a Philly steak cheese sandwich, man? Talk to me.
I haven't watched a lot of their footage since the system left, but I can tell from the highlights and reading a couple of articles that guys are now free. They're able to play in their natural spots. And now, like we was talking about earlier, Phil Jackson talking about offense dictating the defense. Now that they're in rhythm, now that the shots to go around, guys are feeling themselves, it's now impacting their defense, where I think that's going to carry them to the upper crust of the East. I don't think they have enough talent per se individually to get over a 7-game series against like Boston. But I mean, I think with what they got, they can take them to 6. And like Jeff said, if you got a tweaked ankle here and there, they got enough pieces to be able to overcome somebody in a series. So I do think they're legit, because I mean the East isn't that deep anyway. So really a hamstring, you can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think for that reason alone, yeah, they upper crust. They definitely upper crust.
Yeah, the East is a kiddie pool, right? It's a kiddie pool. It's not deep at all. It's not deep at all.
and I'll put in a quick story about for young. For me, quick story of young Africa. I'll put AD in front of Embiid anytime. That's just my,
That's actually a good question, man. Who you guys taking? Right? Who you guys taking? AD?
For me, it's AD, man. AD.
Or Embiid right now.
That's tough, bro.
Embiid playing MVP type numbers right now.
I mean, you can't go wrong. You really can't. I will simplify this by saying I wouldn't trade AD for Embiid. As far as who I would take if I had a draft, and I was sitting there and it was like, okay, I can get this guy and this guy. I would choose. Right now, I would choose Embiid. but I would not trade AD for Embiid. If that makes any type of sense.
It
But
does make
I
sense.
just think
I'm
on
with you.
this
I'm with
team,
You're
yeah,
talking
on
about
this
for the
team,
fit, you want AD, but for the individual talent, you want Embiid. And I actually agree with that. That was my take right there.
Yeah,
I agree.
like Africa will kill me for this, but yeah, but
He was policing you, making sure
oh
you
yeah,
gave
he's
the
gonna,
right
of course, I
answer.
heard it.
I've
Yeah.
seen that. He had like 5 different comments in the comment section. Dude, one short eye emoji short of really getting on you right
Now,
there.
just hear what I said though. I said I would choose Embiid, but I wouldn't trade AD for Embiid. That's my stance for this team. That's my stance.
I got a really tough question for y'all, man, and I want you guys to answer with your chest, and I want you guys to really let me know what your thoughts are. All right, but Lonnie Walker this season is averaging 16.3 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 52% from the field and 43% from beyond the arc, playing 22 minutes per game. Now,
Man, Lonnie.
Is this just credit to Lonnie Walker for his continued development, and he's always had the potential? We saw it. We wanted him to play more minutes under Darvin Ham, or is this actually an indictment against head coach Darvin Ham and his lack of player development? Jeff, want to go? Who want to go?
Yeah. So Lonnie was getting buckets at San Antonio too. This isn't new. When he came to a team that had 2 star players on it, his numbers went down. Lonnie is a good player on a bad team. So he had a good quarter for us and some good moments in the playoffs. You know what I mean? But Lonnie couldn't get these type of numbers on this team. Like I said, like that third man, the LeBron James led team is where the third guy goes to die. All right. Like this is what it is. The numbers fall off. So Lonnie got buckets in San Antonio, just like he's doing now. Gets to a team with 2 stars, right? His numbers go down. He gets on and back to a team with no stars, his numbers will go up. That's the ebb and flow of basketball. You put players on teams that aren't really playing nothing. There was nothing more dangerous. Exactly. There's nothing more dangerous than a player that's playing free. Nothing. New York and the Brooklyn Nets got nothing to play for. They got no pressure. Nothing. He can get out there and live it up. I like Lonnie a lot. But as far as an indictment, I'm going to say no, because like I said, he got buckets, but he was on a team that, he's playing behind, especially after the trade. Lonnie was playing well, and then they make the trade, and then he's hurt, and he comes back, and there weren't really any minutes for him. But shout out to Lonnie for staying ready and help. We don't win that Golden State series without him. But Lonnie, if you look at the course of his career, this is kind of who he can be when he's playing on a team like which Brooklyn is.
Well, this again, one of the few times I disagree with Jeff. We always tend to agree. Great minds think alike. But I'm gonna say this: I think it's somewhat of an indictment to the head coach, because he chose not to play Lonnie Walker on several occasions. Like, he got DNPs, legit DNPs. And we were sitting there looking like, wait a minute, you got Lonnie Walker and you got a struggling Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench, and Lonnie Walker sitting over there just catching, just rotting away. And then I felt like when Lonnie came and had that huge game against Steph Curry and the Warriors to seal that series, I thought for sure he's going to play the next series, and nope, not at all. And this is the problem we have with Darvin Ham. I think a lot of us have, is that he fails to see what's right before him. Like, Lonnie Walker really is a 10-plus point per game scorer, even on a stacked team, if you give him 20 minutes plus. He's averaging 22 minutes, never averaged that for the Lakers. And mind you, he came here on a discount thinking he was going to get a chance to shine, right? And they probably promised him that too. Just like Thomas Bryant, who's also shining for the Miami Heat, you know what I'm saying? So again, I do believe it's somewhat of an indictment to coaches, and this is why I'm so unhappy with the coaches we've had the last 10 years since Phil Jackson left, is that we haven't had a coach that sees what's before him. Like, same thing happened with who was it? Frank Vogel, right? Some of the young players he failed to utilize at times. Or Kuzma, guys like that. Now I get it. Some guys have to sacrifice for a team, like Jeff said. I agree in that part. But man, like, don't you wish that at least Lonnie Walker would have got 15 to 20 minutes per game? And that's what we're seeing right now with Max Christie. When everybody's healthy, he's going to be the one to bite the bullet, right? And not only Max Christie, but who else is going to be the odd man out? Jackson Hayes, somebody who can provide a lot of energy. And then you see them go to other teams and do what Lonnie's doing, shooting a high clip from the field and being efficient in 20 minutes. That is my problem with this coach. So this is one of the very few times I agree to disagree with my brother Jeff. But
no, I get you. But when you got first of all, so you're not going to replace him with Schroeder, because Schroeder's a better on-ball defender. And then who are you going to take out? D'Lo and Reeves? So he didn't surpass those 3 guys. So that's really what it was. When he came back from injury, he was getting those minutes because they were trying to not have like Russ start, to trying to work on his minutes. It just wasn't a fit. You know what I mean? Especially when he got hurt. But after the trade, when you had D'Lo, when you had Reeves, and you had Schroeder, there was just no spot for him. There just really wasn't. So it was
you
just
have to find minutes for these players, man.
Maurice.
I feel like that is somewhat of a cop out. When you have a player that talented, you have to find minutes for him, even if it means cutting back some minutes on guys like Dennis. There was nights when Dennis didn't have it going, and I think
Lonnie wasn't available in a lot of those games though, because remember he was out hurt after the trade deadline. When he came back, it was pretty much a wrap, and that's why he didn't have the moments
in the playoffs when he had that game versus Golden State. You need to find minutes for that, brother, right after, because this is what I mean. Like, he fails to adjust in the moment. Like, if you see somebody go off like that in the fourth quarter and win you a game, you reward him the next game or the next series with some minutes. There's no way he should have just shelled him. Same thing we saw with Rui/Hachimura, right? The way he played versus Jokic, and then the next game he comes off the bench again. It's like you could have started him the next game. Same thing with Tristan Thompson. We could have used a big body like him, and he failed to implement those players, and we got swept as a result, right? It was too little, too late. By the time he used Tristan in the fourth quarter in the final game, he showed something, but too little, too late. So again, I do believe it is an indictment versus the coaches. We saw it happen with Luke Walton. When players would leave his team, they would flourish as well. And I despise those type of coaches because they hold certain players back. You got to see it in them, and you got to allow these guys to help you throughout the course of the season. That's just my opinion, right? On that situation.
No. I totally get it. I totally get it. But I would still take those other three guards over him. You know what I mean? And he's still, at the end of the day, the whole league saw what he did, and he only got a minimum. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dennis Schroeder got $13 million a year, and he's balling. So, like I said, like when you look at the guys that I think the real question would be, should we have kept Dennis? You know what I mean? Like, is kind of
I know.
So it's like and again, I feel like when I take these stances, I don't want to come up like I love Lonnie Walker. I was excited when we got him. Like, I like Lonnie Walker. It's really hard for a guy who needs the ball, like, and then great to like who doesn't compete on the defensive end when we got D'Lo and we got Reeves, to have him out there with or in place of those other guys. It's the same style of player. So like we can't be like, okay, we got to play Austin's, he's next. We love D'Lo. Lonnie's lost on the shuffle at that point. You know what I mean? So it sucks. It's just when there's 12 guys on the roster, one basketball, two guards. Darvin loves 3 guards lineups. Maybe sometimes play him in that 3-guard lineup then with Dennis out there, so at least there's a ball pressuring guard.
Yeah.
But Ham just has no creativity. So he has none.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So, but I like Lonnie. I wish he was here. I like Lonnie a lot, but I'm not surprised he's putting up numbers in an area where he's getting more touches, more shots, and there's no stars to take shots or moments away from him. So he's done this before.
Right. But again, and somebody mentioned in the chat, Lonnie should have got minutes ahead of Beasley, especially after the first 3 to 5 games, and he didn't. Beasley it always just feels like politics come into play, or just as Darvin said before, more experience. I trust this player more. It should never be like that. If he passes the eye test, he needs minutes, right? So that's one thing about coaches that always throws me off, and I'm starting to see that with Darvin as well. And it's drove even you crazy, Jeff, when you said,
"Oh yeah,
why isn't Jackson Hayes out there?" Like, what's going on, right?
Well, he's the one that said facts over feelings. So
he's a telling you, it's always the motor mouthpiece coaches you got to worry about. The Doc Rivers, the Darvin Hams, and I'm sorry, Mies, the Mark Jacksons, like the people who just preach, and then get out there and do not know a thing they're doing when it comes to the court. Nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like those type of guys, like, they're great. Like, and Darvin is a leader of men. Like, guys, he does know how to talk. Like, the players like him. They're starting to get frustrated because of his ability to coach. But as far as the person, they all love him. You know what I mean? But it's just, we need someone like me and Dan were talking about this. Was it last night, Dan? We were talking about every day is like the same, right? But it's like the era of the great head coaches are gone, especially the old school style coaches. Yeah. So it's all player development, all guys who players trust and like, and they want to be their friends and all that. Mm-hmm. But the actual coach, the coach that we're looking for really doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Like, it legitimately doesn't. Yep. And that's probably what's truly missing from the game, is the great basketball minds who can help make their players better and not just be a yes man for the players.
That's right. Yep. Right. Exactly. Yep.
Well, you know what they say, man. We can agree to disagree on this one because it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, somebody had a question here for us, man. Tran says, "Here's the question for the panel: from 1 to 10, what's the panic level?" I'll let you guys go first. I'll go first. For me, it's like a 4 right now, just because of the coaching. That's the biggest panic for me, is in the coaching area. I feel like we got the pieces to compete. It's just, he utilized them properly, right? What you guys got?
That's always a problem. That's always a problem. You got a full kitchen, a guy that doesn't know how to cook, right? Go ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Reese.
If I get in, I can't. It's hard to rank a panic level because it's not
Hey,
even.
man, fuck it,
To me,
man. It's 1,000.
I'm more of a realist with mine, and it's just the reality of I see this dude is not capable of adjusting for any matchup. If you notice any game this year, every game has been the same. There's never been a different
Goddamn
approach to the
same.
game. So I already know it's going to be the same thing in the playoffs when all playoffs are about adjustment. So I'm just a realist and knowing if he's there, we're going to have this frustrating up and downness all day long. It's just kind of the reality of me. His entire offense is based on if we're hot from three, we win. If we don't, we lose, which means we're going to be dealing with this all year long because of this dude. So I can't even rate a panic level. I'm just a realist with mine. He ain't it. He ain't it, and it's gonna be exposed even more in the playoffs. So I'm just kind of anticipating just the obvious at this point.
Yeah,
man.
All right. Anybody else want to drop numbers on the question?
Man, F it, man. I'm already panicked. I'm done with this, man.
So
I'm done with it, man. 1,000.
Yeah.
You went 0 to 100 real quick, man. Oh man.
Fuck it, man. Blow it up now. But
Yeah, Chris reminds me of the type of fan my brother is, man. My brother, after every game, he hits me up and he says it's over after every game, and after every game I have to tell him, bro, it's a long season. You know?
yo, I know it's a long season, but I don't want to go through last season again this season.
And that's what it comes down to is really, can we just enjoy, and shout out to Maurice, man, because me and him was talking about this. Can we just enjoy basketball again? Just the product of basketball on the floor to be played the right way, and to just not yell at the TV and have that vein come. That's all I'm asking. I mean, of course I want to win a title, but I just want to enjoy watching the game.
Man, let me tell you, bro, you can thank Steph Curry for that system of play, that whole style of play. Is Steph Curry, man. Steph Curry,
bro, and you just titled what I wanted to tackle was that exact what you just said, bro, because that really needs to be addressed.
Bring it up right now. Bring it up right now. You know what?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Tell me what you want to talk about, me. Let's get into this. Come on.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
What I want to target. I'm about to do a special coming up, bro, and it's going to be why Steph Curry ruined the NBA. And I want to dig in that joint. And this is not an indictment on Steph, just like when Mark said it, it was an indictment on Steph. His greatness and his ability to do what he does made all these stupid analytic people say we can duplicate that, but not have the player to do it with. That's stupidity. That's why you have a roster like ours that's built traditionally with the point guard, shooting guard, small guard, power forward, and center being used in the Golden State Warriors offense. That's dumb. And that's why our guys can't score. That's why the product on the floor looks trash. That's why you see no backdoor. We're built like a traditional team. We should be running a traditional offense, not this 3-point shooting crap. We can't compete with nobody if we're trying to be the Warriors. And I want to dig in on that, man, because it's killing the league. It's killing the product, bro. It's ridiculous. Back in the day when teams had different styles, that's why the NBA was dope. You had the Pistons grinded out team versus the Suns, who were a high octane. That's what made it exciting, that everybody had different styles based on the personnel they had. Now, like Ray Allen says, he don't watch the NBA no more. He said because there's a bunch of non-Ray Allens taking Ray Allen shots. That's facts, man. It just drives me crazy, bro. And I just want to
listen. I'm glad you brought it up. You see the comment on the screen, right? That's my neighbor. Shout out to my neighbor Eddie, man.
Hey, and it's no diss to Curry.
I always diss Curry just to fuck with him because it's funny because these kids think Curry is like the second coming of Jesus, right? So I tell this kid all the time, man, Curry, you know, he's great, but if he didn't have Draymond, how many championships do you think he would have on that team, right? If he didn't have Klay Thompson, how many championships do you think he would have on that team? Because these are the guys doing the dirty work while Steph gets to run around like a roach and shoot threes, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Iggy, like a lot of these guys have put in like all that stuff. But every dynasty has crazy depth to it, right?
But the thing about Curry and why, to me, he's not one of my favorite players is he's a one-trick pony. If you lock him up, which is hard to do running after all those screens and stuff, but if he ISOs you and you put a bigger guard on him, which is how they mask his offense and why they set all the screens and why he moves really well off ball. Got to give him credit for all that. But if you was to guard him 1v1, I think we saw the outcome of that in the finals in 2007 when Kyrie Irving cooked his ass one-on-one and he ended up hitting the real clutch shot in his mouth. And ever since then, I think this guy Curry, man, I've seen him panic whenever he gets switched out to an ISO guard like a Kyrie. He goes, Clay. You know what I mean? So it's not that I hate Curry. I hate his play style, and I hate how snarky and how sneaky he is. They hide him. I promise you, watch the game. Every single fucking game, he's guarding the worst possible offensive player on the opposition. I promise you. Like if he was guarding, if he was playing the Indiana Pacers, he would be on Nembhard. Who the fuck is that, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my favorite players always took the challenge and play defense and play both sides of the ball. That's why I don't fuck with Curry, and I never will, man. I can't fuck with Curry because he's a one-trick pony. He's a shooter and a great one, the greatest shooter we've ever seen. But he has broken the game of basketball. Matter of fact, in the park, when I go to the park, kids just love ISO dribble, and then they pull up.
That back.
Fucking defense being playing today because their favorite player is one that doesn't play defense. So that is how he ruined the game. Not with his greatness, but just everybody emulates greatness, and his greatness is 50% off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
so, I don't like. I get it. I don't like. Oh, we got a super chat. Can I greet this one real quick?
Go ahead,
Mission 24. First of all, thank you so much, man, for the $9.99 super chat. It said we can turn this around. I believe we all can turn this around. My panic level is probably like a 3.52. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really like true panic because we got to see who this is. But yeah, I believe we can definitely turn it around. And hopefully you're here still checking us out, watching the channel when we do, because it's going to be a lot of fun when they do. But appreciate you supporting all of us, and we greatly appreciate you. So thank you.
Oh, my bad. I was waiting for you to give the whole breakdown on it.
Yeah. So, the breakdown on the so the Steph Curry thing is tough for me because I think he saved. While we're paying for it now, I think there was a part when it was really, really fun. You're right. But when I'm looking here and I'm saying, and we're seeing that the league average per night is 35 threes a game, and that is far too many for an NBA team, especially when they're only making 35% of them. So if you go back, if you look at year over year, so we're sitting here and we're doing attempts of 35 3-pointers per game. And if we go back just to like 2013, which is like 10 years ago, which like is a long time, but think about it for a league that's been around 100 or something years, right? That's 15 more threes per game since then. And that's just a lot of threes. And Cuba, I see you, man, over here talking about trapped in the 90s. We're not trapped in the 90s, man. It's just what it is we come from an era where the game was played on two sides of the ball. Cuba, you're like 17 and a half and you're wearing the bron thong. You know what I mean? So that bron thong. You got the bron thong on, man. So look, take your bron thong off and listen to what we're talking about real quick. But what I'm saying is we like to see two sides of the ball. We like shooting. We like defense. We like our bigs to rebound, block shots, and obviously, catch lobs, dunks, and do all that. But they took the big man away, right? And now it's nothing but threes. There's nothing more frustrating than watching teams who can't shoot threes. And that's all I'm saying. It waters down the league. It makes it so some games are really impossible to watch when you're going out there and the Lakers are the worst team in the league is shooting threes, and they're out there shooting a bunch of threes. Like it's just how do they expect to win that way? LeBron James's best strength is everything but the 3-point shot. So it's not that he shouldn't ever take a three, but damn, when we're doing these shows, how many times do you hear me say like he made that, but I don't like it because I know what it's going to lead to, right? And I know what it's going to lead to. And honestly, what had me scared when the season started and Bron was shooting like 35% for three, I was like, oh, this isn't good.
Oh yeah,
this isn't good because and what frustrates me is Bron is way too smart for that. He knows it. He knows it, but there's parts where he's out there. He's like, these guys aren't giving energy. These guys aren't getting effort. I'm not about to get in there, get hurt, and get out here and potentially risk something when these guys are out here dogging it. So I understand what Bron is doing. But what I'm also saying is like the league at 35 shots a game at 35% make rate, league average. This isn't just a team. League average is 35% made on 35 3-point shots per game. That's too many shots for too little makes is what I'm saying. So you've got all these teams that don't have any bigs, so it's not rebounding anymore, right? Rebounds are not what they used to be. And they're just out there chucking. And the game is, for me, it's great. It's okay. It's great when you got two teams going at it and they're both coming down and they're making them. That's cool.
Yeah.
We're like, oh man, it's a trading off the battle. Oh, he just topped them. Oh, he just topped them. Okay, cool. But when they're coming down and it's just a brick fest, when it's just a Russell Westbrook celebration party, like who wants to see that? You know what I mean? Like, so that's what we're talking
party,
about.
man.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. I don't hate 3-point shots. Yeah, I don't hate 3-point shots. I just hate that they take so many without any success with it because the game just gets sloppy.
And that's what we miss. You know, that's what we miss. They used to call us old heads or whatever. Man, I'm barely 30, man. Chill out. But I'll tell you, that's what we fucking miss is intelligent basketball. Like if a player comes up and shoots a half-court shot, you're sitting next to me, pal. Sit your ass over here. We miss that. Like Jeff said, we don't have those hard-nosed coaches anymore. So now you got all these confused youngsters thinking, oh, the game is funner than ever. And they're fucking watching, 22% three-point shooting. Oh, my God, he made a half-court shot. Did you see that? Nope. I was focused on seeing the 10 he missed, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, bro, we want to see good, efficient basketball. And we want to see, like me said, we want to see guys take advantage of mismatches. We want to see different styles of play. We don't want to see Golden State every fucking game. We don't want to see screens, a bunch of Ray Allens running out there, these Dollar General versions of Ray Allen run out there shooting 25% from beyond the arc. Nah, we want to see good basketball. That's all we ask. And this is why I'm not hating on Curry. I know he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen off of screens and shit, right? But all I'm saying is he's not my favorite player, never will be. He's one of my least favorite players for said reason, because it has ruined basketball to the point where you can't even play defense nowadays, guys. How many times have we seen somebody get a stop and, James Harden or a Curry type player, some softy, is kicking out his legs and drawing the foul, right? How many, right? So that's the problem with today's game, and it's all good. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still love basketball. We're still going to watch, but it was a lot better 10 years ago. Let's be quite frank, right?
Well, 10 years ago. So I get, and I don't hate Steph. I want to be clear. I think he was pretty entertaining. I get what you're saying that Steph is catching the blame, but I think it's more along the lines of what Mies was saying. It's the rest of the league's fault for trying to emulate Steph without having Steph, or without having the system and the ball movement and the back screens and the cutting and all that, right? So because the 90s was a grinding game too. It wasn't always exciting, but it was. So I think people are mistaking us for excitement for competition as far as the way they competed. You know what I mean? It was different. So it's just different. Everyone has their preference, and that's cool. But what I'm saying is I just don't like, even if it's Steph or no Steph, I don't like a bunch of guys out there just shooting threes without any success in it. That's kind of my beef. It's not that I don't like the 3-point shot. When it's going in and teams are battling, I love it. But when it's just two teams who can't shoot it or shooting it, it's not enjoyable. That's my beef. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fact. Absolutely.
Facts.
All about efficiency.
And prime example to back up what Jeff said, bro. Because I don't know if we brought this up the other night with Cam Reddish, man. I don't know if we addressed this yet, but this is back to what we talking about, man. Down one in a winnable game, and you come up and jack up 4 threes in a row down one. This is what we're talking about. There's no way you can describe that other than stupidity, man. There's no logic. You have LeBron James on your team and you're down one, and 4 possessions in a row, you take a 3-point shot. Well, no, let me back up. 3 possessions in a row, you take a 3-point shot. Now for the game winner, you design a play, whether it was designed for him or anybody, you need 1 freaking point. And you design a play for a corner 3-point shot. That's today's era. And while us old school is like, nah, because we would have won the game with the common sense. We would have won the game. We would have had Austin Reeves, whoever, pull up for a nice 15-footer and left with a win smiling. No, but you design a play for your worst shooter. You didn't need a 3. And after watching 3 bricks in a row, any coach with common sense is like, all right, that's enough. We done took 3 in a row. We're only down 1. Let's attack to the basket, get to the free throw line, and give me a nice pull up from the elbow and win this game, and let's get on this plane. But that's today's coaching and why we left with an L. That's what we're arguing about, man. This is ridiculous.
Yep. And it was 4 or 5 possessions they shot a 3, and probably that 5th one would have been a 3 too, but Braun got a charge. So it was 5. So they get down only 1, right? They have them in their sights. They have them on their heels. They have them, and then a 5 straight possessions, just 4 threes and a turnover. Now I don't like defenses collapse. I don't necessarily have a problem with teams run that shot all the time. The corner 3 is the shortest 3 in the game. it wasn't necessarily the wrong play or the wrong pass. It was just to the wrong guy. Like I said, so if it's Reeves in that corner, if it's Prince in that corner, if Reeves, I mean, if Cam just gives up a pump fake and then gets Lowry to dive down or rotate and then swings it to Prince, it's a much better shot. But they showed the clipboard. The play was designed for Cam.
Yes, that's what made it bad
for Cam. Like you might as well have someone, serving popcorn shoot that ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense to draw up that play for him. At that point, if you're Bron, and if I'm Bron and I see that's a play that's drawn up, I'm scraping that play. I'm going to the guys. No, we ain't running that bullshit. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Or you're going to Cam. You listen to me right now. Yeah. You pass that to TP. You pass that to TP. Or do me a favor. Fall down before I go to pass you the ball so I can say you weren't open. You know what I mean? Like you got to do something. That was just a horrible play call, but that's what did you what were you calling him yesterday, Dan? What the hands in the pockets? Pocket hams. Yeah. God. Yeah. Pocket hams. Yeah.
I'm update. That's hot pocket ham right there because so he's just instant coaching. I don't know where he learned
that. And here's a scary question I got to ask the bros. Do we think he won't do that exact same thing in the playoffs?
He will. He ran that play in the playoffs, but for Schroeder, who's also not a 3-point shooter, he just made it. But he's ran that exact play before. So and there are you're open, and then there is you're open for a reason.
For a reason,
right?
Yes, sir.
And they're leaving that corner open for a reason when it's Cam Reddish over there. You live with Cam, you live with Schroeder, you live with any of those guys taking that shot other than LeBron James going 1-on-1 to the cup. You live with that with your team. So great defense. I would have preferred Bron, even if he got blocked, just take it, go at it, pull up somewhere, run something with a 2-man action with him and Christian Wood, get those guys involved, do something. But that when you're down 1 and that's the guy you want shooting, like I'm cool with Steph Curry taking that shot if they're tied or down 1. You know what I mean? Right. That's a layup for him. But for someone else who can't do it, it just makes no sense.
You guys remember when the commentators used to say, "What is he doing? You're down 1. Take a dribble in and take the mid-range. High efficiency basketball." Now the commentators get fired for talking the truth.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? So the NBA is really dumbing down the youth, man. And this is why they're like, "Why are you hating on Curry?" Nobody's hating on Curry, fam. Nobody. We hating on the play style that Curry brought forth, and not just Curry. I got to give it to Steve Kerr because let's be honest. Steve Kerr, did y'all see the threes we were taking for Team USA? Some of those were just as stupid. And then I realized it wasn't just Curry who ruined basketball. This is that motherfucker Steve Kerr too. Where's Jordan when somebody needs to get knocked out? Go call Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was him too. He's not a great coach. He's overrated. He's just lucky he has Curry. Let's be honest. Now, Young Africa makes a great point. The idea of a bad shot, he says, doesn't exist anymore. That's what Curry changes. He makes a lot of bad shots that would have got you benched back in the day. Exactly. And to add to that, remember when Jordan Poole took that stupid shot in the playoffs and he was scrutinized for it? And then I think it was Tyrese Halliburton who was doing an interview on ESPN and he goes, "That was a great shot. I would have taken the same shot." I'm like, this is Tyrese Halliburton, one of the smartest, most intelligent players in our league, thinking that Jordan Poole shot from like Curry range was great. Right? So,
remember when Dame hit that shot against the Clippers and Paul George, like, it was a bad shot. It was a bad shot. You know what I mean? So it's like, but Africa makes sense. I mean, he often does, but he makes sense there because it's he does. He makes it, or even taking it back to when Kobe would take and make a lot of bad shots, but they weren't bad shots for him. They were makeable shots for him. To me, I think the winner of all this is Mees. He hit it on the head with that. Well, maybe not the term winner, but the guy who kind of nailed it was saying that it made a lot of people go out and think that they could play that way without having the guy that makes playing that way work. And that's exactly like what it is. It'd be like if someone went out and got Thomas Bryant and said, "Go play like Joker." That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't work if you don't. It doesn't work if you don't have the guy that made that special. Because all you got to do is just all you have after that is this guy shooting threes. You don't have what made that player or made that run special. You don't have him. So that Mees is 1,000% correct with that assessment.
Yep. And I hope that eventually, because you know how the game is, right? It changes all the time, and eventually comes back to what it should be, right? So it's like it goes through its changes, and then we get a player. I was hoping Zion was that player that made inside game more attractive. Like I was hoping it was a player like that, right? That's a high flyer, like a Vince Carter type, to come in and do that. It hasn't happened yet, but eventually it will. And unfortunately, now we got Victor Wembanyama out here smacking Curry rings. So that might have to be, put off a little longer. But you know what? I hope that we're in the most talented era as far as skill set goes, and I just want a more well-rounded basketball. So hopefully it gets back to that. But it was a pleasure, fam. Thank you guys so much tonight. I mean, that was a blast. We got into heated debates today. So stuff, you know what? We might have
I like that shit though, man.
Hey, that was awesome, bro.
Can't always be peaches and cream. You know what I mean? I
love
awesome,
like
we're all so passionate. And
quick story.
Talking basketball, like different perspectives, like and learning and seeing how someone sees it through their angle is always interesting to me. You know what I mean? Because we all see the ball. We see the we see the game. Sorry, we see the game very similar in a lot of ways, but it's always cool. That's why Dan will say we usually agree, but when we don't agree on something, it's almost more exciting because then I'm like, what is he seeing that I don't? You know what I mean? It makes it so interesting. But we're not one of those channels that are going to scream over each other and get all crazy. You know what I mean? Like we all do truly respect each other's opinions, and it's just very interesting to me how someone sees something like different. You know what I mean? And you can talk about it respectfully.
Yes, and my sorry, and my shit is always different. So I'm driving everybody crazy. I'll drive you crazy. Hey man, fuck that shit. Hey man, the Clippers, man. I'm tired of the Clippers.
There you go.
Hey, but what I love though, like just say is, and you can tell at the end of the day, what we all in this fan base, this city, everybody in the chat wants is to have that great product we can scream for again. You know what I mean? And be excited for and have that return for the year so that you get off of work, like Jeff say, working these 10, 12 shifts, you want to sit back, give you a little something to sip on and just cheer. And I'm going to tell you something's crazy. During the Van Exel era, which was the era that I started really watching, we wasn't a championship team, but it was a great product on the floor to watch. So win or loss, you felt good, like, hey, we fought hard, but we took an L or we got the win because the product was worth the money, you know what I mean? So that I can tell that's what everybody wants to see is just return to great basketball, man.
Yep. And I want to give a quick shout out, man, to the young fellow right here in the chat, man. My neighbor Eddie, star of the show here. He sparked the debate. Here, man. And let me tell you something about this young man. He might like the wrong player to be his favorite player, but he has tremendous heart, man. He plays hard. I've taken him to the park with me, man. Let me tell you, he can tell you himself, man. He's tried to guard me. He's failed. But he's tried.
Oh, okay.
And that's something very few people do. So I respect him, man. And I like his work ethic. He goes every day to shoot right here to our court and right here in the back, right here of the apartments. And he's always shooting, man, always posting those videos of him working. So major props to you. I also want to give major props to you, bro. Yeah. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. And I also want to give major props to Search because this dude is in here, man, with commercial like moderation.
Told you.
Listen, face your fear. You're right. You were right about him, Jeff. Yeah.
I'm always right sometimes. But I knew I was right about Search. That I definitely was Search.
Yeah, and stand up really quick, Chris. Show him the heat, the fire, man. It looks even better in person, man. Face Your Fears collection. Y'all gotta check that out. The D-Lo poster on Paolo Banchero covers up the whole T-shirt, man. That is a sexy ass graphic. And y'all definitely got to go check that out on shopcourtkings.com.
Absolutely fine. Chris, do me one time. Do one of these so people can see how excited you are to feel that shirt. The material of that shirt. I don't think he can hear me at all. He has no idea what we're doing right now. There. Okay, don't do that. The shirt, Chris. The shirt.
My bad.
What is going on here, man?
My bad.
People over here thinking that Joakim Noah is wilding out on camera over here. What's going on, man?
It went left. A nipple came into the camera. It went left.
Man, he's like Martin in Bad Boys 2 right now, bro.
I thought you said
man was out here like Curry, man. He was like, hey, man, what's going on?
I thought you said Christian, fill yourself up. So I was like, well, yeah.
Oh my God, what is happening?
Oh, man, got his prints on.
Look away. My puppy's gonna see this, man. What's going on, man?
Hey, yo.
Russell.
But look how good that looks, though.
Make sure to pull up the shopcourtkings.com where you can see the normal shirt without all the crazy activity. And go ahead and check out the I gotta look. Yeah, I'm gonna go to courtkings.com and shop courtkings.com and check out the fire heat over there, man. We got some more stuff coming and some new announcements with some more merch on the way. So
yes, we got some absolute bangers coming out, man. And Chris is about to drop his OnlyFans real soon.
Oh my god!
Man.
You talk about graphic designing and hair tips. So
Hey,
like,
Chris always steals the show somehow. Huh? He always steals the show. This guy's a star, man.
Hey,
That's my dog.
Curly
That's
Chris,
my dog.
OnlyFans curlychris.com.
oh
so.
my god, he calls himself
yeah.
the sixth Bone Thug. So just be ready over there, man.
Hey, by the way, don't type in the website he just gave you because something might.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We cannot be held responsible for.
Jesus.
Yeah,
You
but
know
I
what?
appreciate y'all, man, for tapping in chat. Everybody, man, Jeff's people in here too heavy.
Hell
My
yeah.
people, everybody's people,
Hell yeah.
man. So we appreciate y'all for real. That's gonna wrap it up for us. If you guys have anything you want to shout out, now's your time, fam. Go ahead, no particular order.
Fellas,
Anybody.
go ahead, fellas.
Go ahead, Means. Go ahead, Means. We'll go.
Yeah.
Hey, man, first of all, shout out to my bros, man. You know I love y'all, man. This is the best time of the week, man. I try to get in my 3 push-ups for the month every time I'm coming in with y'all, man. So it's a blessing. But first, who just asked, does the merch come with cocoa butter? That Young Africa. Shout out to Young Africa, man.
Why?
He said it might happen, man. But y'all know where I am, Mees, man. I'm trying to avoid the Darwin videos, man, because it's just putting me in a. I'm trying to root for the man. I want this to turn around, so I'm sure I can root for my squad, man. But y'all know where I'm at, man. Y'all know where I'm at, man. Shout out to my bros, man, and shout out to the chat.
Yeah, shout out to Dan as usual for continuing to open up the platform and kind of making this a routine now and making it like our regular show now. So shout out to Dan, man. None of this would be possible without him and you guys in the chat. Some great conversations today. I think it's fun sometimes when we're going back and forth and everyone's kind of got a different side. I actually like that from time to time. So it was really cool to be part of that with you guys. And as far as I go, you guys can find me over at Empire Jeff TV over there. We just got to 600 subscribers.
We at 600. Stop playing.
600. So next stop on the way to 1,000 is 700. So shout out to everyone. We got there last night, so appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Dan. Definitely couldn't got to those numbers, obviously, without him. So and all you guys. So absolutely appreciate you guys. Shout out Chris to all the graphics he does, man. Shout out to Mees, aka the retweet machine over here. Just recent and everything out we put into the universe. So shout out to all you guys. Shout out to all the support, man. Get over there. I'm gonna pull double duty. I'm gonna be over there again tonight. So got to keep it going, man. I'm tired as hell, but it's all good. I'm gonna keep pushing,
busy, man.
Hey, congratulations. It's just a start for you, man. This is a
Hell
start.
yeah.
Getting busy, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what it's all about, man. A star was born on around the league, and now he is spreading his wings. 600 already.
Yes,
that's
sir.
breaking, man. He might be breaking my record.
It's crazy. Like when we got 500 last Monday, right? When we were when Dan was on, there's no secret. I got 500 the day Dan came on my show, right? But then to go from Monday to basically 9 days later to get to 600. I mean that I didn't see that coming. So shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you guys, and having that happen during a bad stretch of Laker basketball on top of it. So that just means people are running to us for when things are going bad, to go into Dan's channel. We got a little thing working where we do ours, and then Dan does his post game, and I do the after party post game. That I call it the DTLF after party post game special, and then we you know what I mean, and it's working. So we're here for you. If you guys see what me and Dan has gone through in some of these games, and to sit there and just go through all those games and just sit there and call the games when they're just tragic games to be part of. We do it because we know that the exciting games are coming. We know that's going to turn the corner. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you guys. We greatly appreciate you guys. And the best is yet to come from all of us. So appreciate you guys.
Deuces. Chris, you got anything you want to shout out, bro? I know you got something up your sleeve.
Oh man, quick story. Let me just tell you one thing. I just want to say, I just want to say, thank you to Dan, Jeff, and Mees. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So to be honest, anything you guys, and I don't know if I've said this to you guys personally, so I'll say it now. Quick story. I love you guys to death, and you guys are now brothers and family to me. So just
you, no,
and when I say that, I mean For real, dude.
You say that, Chris. You say that, you make it sound like when I say it, I don't mean it.
I know. Why?
Yeah,
Chris is hearing the theme song from Friends in his head as he's talking right now. So he just
But you know what I'm saying? Like, dude,
Yeah.
dude. No, just just for real, quick story. Thank you to the three of you. If it wasn't for me, I would be a nobody. And
Nah, stop it.
no,
that's not true.
no.
Listen. I'll tell you
The
how
three
much-
of you, the three of you got big skills that just allowed me to like just kind
Oh
of.
yeah,
like,
you can't create graphics or art at all, Chris. Like you suck it.
Right.
Just
Come
terrible.
on,
You can't create graphics at all, right? You do nothing, right? Come on, Chris.
Facts.
Come
Hey,
on,
listen,
Chris.
we're gonna drop a quick story T-shirt dedicated to Chris.
Yeah,
Man.
you see my dog is about to
man.
pull this plug out the wall over here. You saw that? Like, he's about to pull the plug on us. He's like, "You better take
All
me
right.
for this walk."
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. Listen, bro, you're goated.
But the three of you guys know how much you guys mean to me, and I just want to say thank you to the three of you for reaching out during this tough time. That's it. Love you guys. Angie B. I'm sorry to the rest of the chat if I didn't mention. Balam, my cousin, always reaching out in the chat. Many of my family members. Dante, I could go on. Africa.
My man sound like he's on TV right now. My man's on TV giving us shout outs.
I can't forget. Search. My bad. Search.
Yeah,
My
he
bad,
will search and
My
destroy
bad,
you.
Search.
He will search and
Search,
destroy you. You
Search,
gotta, yeah.
searchers. My bad. I didn't mean to miss you, but I see you,
Oh.
young Africa. Dante. It goes on. And
Chris
on
giving
and
his
on.
Grammy speech
Yeah.
right now. We got to play the
Oh.
music. Hold on. We got to play
I
the
know.
music to cut him off here, man. We got to play the music to cut him off here.
I love you guys, everybody. I love you. Okay.
All right, y'all. That's gonna wrap it up for us, man. Have a good one, man. Signing off. It's been another successful episode of ATL, man. Y'all have a
Yes,
great
sir.
rest of your weekend, and we'll talk soon. All right, peace.
Don't panic, Laker fans.